All right, all right, all right. Thank you all for coming to the show. My name is Commissioner Rhino, and at High Desert Ron on the X, and to the right of me, the astute, the guru of DFS, Abjud at AB underscore salutely on the
Yeah.
X. Welcome everybody. How you doing, Abjud?
Welcome, welcome. I am doing pretty good. I'm
Right on.
pretty exhausted from the work week, but I've been looking forward to this though. Love DFS
Same here.
Fridays.
Same here. So, what's your takes about last night's game?
Last night's game was, it was pretty good. It was what I expected mostly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of points from the Niners, Seattle chasing points. A couple things that I didn't like though were some of the targets that DK Metcalf was getting. I feel like he should have had a much bigger game than what he ended up having.
Well, you
Uh,
take away the touchdown. If you've been wearing white shoes, would probably been a touchdown, and then
exactly.
that bomb that got taken away for a illegal shift.
Yeah, I don't understand why Kenneth Walker kept moving. Like he moved to the other side of the field, and instead of just getting his feet set, he just kept moving.
Yeah, that happened last week in the Kansas City game, I believe, because it cost Worthy a long score too, I believe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, and
I-
Brandon Ayuk had a pretty disappointing day too.
yeah. It's funny because I think Lockett is like steady Eddie right now, which
Yeah.
it's crazy for me to say that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but he seems to be steady Eddie, man, and he seems to be getting targets in the end zone, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
Especially having him on a fantasy football team,
Mm-hmm.
one that's 0-4.
Oh man. Oh yeah. You've been bit by the injury bug this year, right?
It's a long story, bro.
Oh
We don't
man.
got enough time for that.
But yeah, so I think Lockett is getting DK is getting a lot of targets, but I think Lockett is getting the better targets because a lot
Yeah,
of teams are focusing on double teaming DK and they're trying to shut him out and they're trying to, have him not destroy the game. So because of that, Lockett is getting a lot of underneath stuff. And even Jackson Smith and Jigba is getting a lot of underneath targets as well.
yeah.
He's getting some yak opportunities. So like it's just they have to get DK some better targets. They have to get him some better looks because it's like everything that they're doing with him so far has just been predictable.
How long do you think DK with his attitude? Did you see the footage of him taking the headsets off
You know,
the sideline guy and telling the offensive
selling grubs,
coordinator?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think if he keeps that up, I'm just saying, if he keeps it up, don't be surprised. They're not tied to him.
well, the only thing that I can say about that is a saying that Pat McAfee likes to say on his show. It's like be who you can afford to be, and I
Yeah,
feel like DK has built up enough, credibility with that team and enough credibility in the NFL that stuff. I'm pretty sure like they don't really worry about that stuff, and it's just him telling the defensive coordinator like, hey, like let's throw the ball past the sticks, which he's not completely wrong because he's 6'4", 200 and almost 40 pounds, and he runs like a 4.3 or something like that.
yeah.
So it's like get him some deeper looks.
He's the closest thing to Megatron that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
and
Let's
even
get
and even
there.
Megatron didn't move like this.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Megatron was special though. All
yeah, he
right.
was.
Let's get to some DFS, man.
Let's do it.
What do we got going on here? All right.
Woo-hoo.
Commanders Ravens 51.5.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Who you liking?
Oh, everybody. I like
Eh,
everybody in this matchup. I think there will be points on top of points on top of points. Jaden Daniels, Lamar, Henry, Robinson. If he ends up playing, I'm not sure if he's playing this week.
Well, they said it's a game time decision, but
Right.
they're moving towards him playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there somebody like Jami Brown that might surprise
Mm,
people,
well, yeah. I mean, De'Ami
or
Brown
maybe
could get a couple shots downfield.
it might be this might be the Ben Sinnott breakout game.
Oh yeah. Is what's his name? Hurt? Zach Ertz?
No. Earth's not hurt. No,
Okay.
Earth's not hurt. No. Is there anybody on these teams that you would want to play at the right price? Maybe like a
Um.
Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I think Brian Robinson is definitely worth a look, depending on what his price is.
And that backfield, well, 8,500. No, that's Bijan.
Oh, 77 for Brian
1,700.
Robinson.
But with a knee issue, he had what, 7 7 carries for like 32 yards and 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah,
It was split up pretty good between him, McNichols, and Eckert. Eckert at what, 6
It just
carries for 7 yards?
Yeah. So Brian Robinson had 7 for 18 and 2 touchdowns. So that's where his value is. It's in the touchdowns.
Touchdowns.
Mhm.
Exactly. So I don't know if that'd be a good play or not because then you're touchdown needy or
Right. I
reliant.
also can see here on the stat sheet from last game that Austin Eckler had 6 carries for 67 yards.
Yeah.
So he's very involved.
And how many? I think he had three receptions for 32 yards too, something like that.
He had 2 for 30.
Okay, 2 for 30.
Mhm.
So he might be a sneaky play like a running back too.
Right. Yeah. I think Eckler would be the better play because he'll probably be the better price.
And I think Washington might be playing from behind this week.
Mhm.
So if they are, then man,
Eckler is definitely going to get some PPR points. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the 51.5. I think they probably might go over. This might be a 28-31 kind of game.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of game that us fantasy football people like to play.
Absolutely. The gambling people too.
Yeah. And what about Zay Flowers? What do you think about him?
Zay Flowers, I mean, he is their wide receiver 1, but I feel like because they're so run heavy, I don't know if Zay Flowers will consistently put up numbers. And I know that he put up some decent numbers last game. So last game he had
11 catches for 132 yards, something like that.
Yeah, he had 7 for 111.
7 for 11. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he had 11 targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but the week before that, he had 1 for 10. So it's like you just never know.
I know, but see, he's somebody that I leave in my lineup though in fantasy football.
Well, of course, yeah.
Because he's like that. So
yeah, unless you have a better option, you can't bench him in fantasy.
Yeah, I wonder what Daniels is. Daniels, yeah.
Jaden Daniels has got to be like priced. He's got to be like QB 2 or 3.
Yeah, you think?
Has to.
Yeah.
See, can you check on the quarterbacks for Jaden Daniels to see what his price is?
Damn.
Yeah, he's QB 2. Yeah, him and Lamar.
He called it.
Yeah.
Man.
Especially because of the numbers that he's been putting up, what he did the last game he played. And I think he led their team in rushing last week. He had 67 rushing yards.
He has 300 rushing yards, and he's like in the top 10, I believe, in rushing.
Yeah.
As quarterback.
Rushing, yep.
And he's doing this. He's doing it quietly.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, because what happens is they're not giving him a lot of quarterback designed runs. But what he'll do is he'll drop back if there's pressure. He'll look at where the pressure came from, and he'll run to that location. Yeah. If it's the weak side linebacker, he'll run to the weak side. If it's the middle linebacker, he'll run right up the gut. And he's so smart. He slides. He gets out of bounds. He takes care of his body.
Very smart.
So it's very easy because you'll blink, and all of a sudden he has 50 rushing yards.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. And he's getting out of bounds, and he's running smart too.
And he's so good in the red zone. He's so good in the red zone.
Yeah, I agree. All right. What's next here? They'll be from most of these players. Eckler maybe
Eckler is probably the only one that's at value. The rest of them are all like super expensive.
So let's we could circle back to Eckler toward the end. Bucks and Saints.
Oh.
Now, hey, just before, would you play Bucks defense?
Would I play the Bucks defense? No.
Even with Spencer Rattler going?
Yes, and the reason why I say that is because Spencer Rattler, I think, is very capable. I'm not saying that he's going to light the world on fire, but it's always dangerous when you play against a quarterback who actually is capable. Because when you play against a quarterback who's like, he's a little bit iffy, he didn't really show you that much, he has some question mark. Right. Then you can bet on him having a bad game more often than not. But Spencer Rattler looked great in the preseason. So that makes it whatever it is, like whatever level that a quarterback performs in a preseason, when they get in the regular season, you have to kick it down one notch. So he was great in the preseason. So there's a chance that he'll be decent in this game.
But also with that though, he's also careless too because he's a bit of a gunslinger.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So that's one thing you have to look at.
But I think they'll take some pressure off of him though. I think they'll try and run the ball a lot. They'll try and get Kamara into open space. I think Taysom Hill should be back. So Taysom Hill is probably gonna even get some snaps at quarterback. Bucky Irving is a solid play
like
and
that.
he's very cheap. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah,
and
good
what
call,
about
Steve.
I like Godwin for the Bucks too.
Yeah, because Lattimore is gonna be keeping Mike Evans very busy,
and they're gonna be fighting. This will be thrown. There's always this will be thrown to that one.
Right?
Check out Godwin.
So my question would be, would you be okay playing two players from the same team in a game where there's such a low point total? Because the point total is 41.5. So that means that they're not expecting many touchdowns.
Well,
because typically you want to take advantage of the matchups like the Washington and Baltimore one, where the point total is like 52, where it's like there's an opportunity for a lot of points to be scored.
So what's the price for McLaurin? Maybe we play McLaurin.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
You're still wide receiver. I love Bucky Irving though, man.
Bucky Irving is a great player.
He is slowly, surely taking RB1 out.
Oh yeah.
Godwin at 7,500.
Wait, look, scroll down a little bit, Siege. Look for Terry McLaurin at the wide receivers, because I think that is a very good play. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, and he's cheap. Yeah, there you go. Terry McLaurin. We'll take him.
Browns Eagles 42.5. I'm not touching nobody from the Browns.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Nobody. They're untouchable. I'd maybe look at maybe Devontae Smith or AJ Brown or Barkley too.
Yeah, Barkley. Barkley is probably going to be one of the more expensive plays this week. But I think he's definitely one of those guaranteed, like how last week we picked Derrick Henry with no problem because we knew that Derrick Henry would have a good day. I think this week is a Saquon Barkley week.
But and he'd be fine doing that with Bucky Irving because Bucky Irving was at 5,700.
No. Bucky Irving is great. Yeah, Bucky Irving is good. Is locked in for us.
See what Barkley is, because that's a good. He's going to get his.
Mm-hmm.
And Browns they give up points.
Yeah, they look really bad right now. That Browns team looks terrible right now.
Yeah, they do, and I don't know what they're going to do with Watson. I don't think he's tradable.
Oh man!
But they dug themselves a hole. They got to dig it out themselves.
Yeah.
People have been asking, are they going to trade him? So I don't know. Or how are they going to sit him? If they sit him, that means they have to swallow their pride.
Yeah.
That they made a mistake and own up to it. That's just, a lot of these GMs and owners don't want 9,200 for Barkley.
Yes, Barkley is RB1.
Okay, so Barkley.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with taking Barkley as RB1. Yeah.
Because even if we have to, we can go lower on a quarterback.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever worked backwards? Meaning, like start with the defense, then go running back, then wide receiver, the quarterback?
No, because defense is such a volatile, it's a volatile position in DFS, and most of the most of the good defenses or defenses that have good matchups are generally cheap.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make much sense to work from the defense because, like last week, we got the Denver Broncos defense at like $3,000. So it's like you don't really need a lot for the defense. Now, one thing I have done though is worked backwards from skills players to quarterback.
Okay.
But my preferred way to do it is quarterback to skills player. But working skills player to quarterback, depending on the matchups, is not a bad plan either.
Right on. And would you play Eagles defense?
Eagles defense? I mean, yeah, the Eagles defense is not a bad play at all. Not a bad play at all.
See, right now with me, I like Denver's defense. I like Houston's defense against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
With Drake May going.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Steelers defense against the Raiders.
Steelers
AOC starting.
Okay.
I'll think they're going to answer to see.
Who Denver plays the Chargers?
Denver plays the Chargers. Houston plays Patriots.
The Houston versus Patriots game actually scares me a little bit
Might be a trap game.
Yeah, it's definitely a trap game. And the reason why I say that is because Houston is like hot right now. Houston has been winning these games, these nail biter games, like in the last few seconds. So like they're due. Houston is due for a letdown, and I think that this could be the perfect opportunity for the Patriots, for Drake May to come in there. Drake May has a lot more juice than Jacoby Brissett. Drake May is gonna, he's gonna sling it all over the field, and Houston's pass defense is not that good.
No, that's true.
So I think that they could take this as an opportunity to upset them. And I think that, like every once in a while, these good teams that start off hot, they're due for like a weird game where like they lose and you're wondering like, how the hell did they even lose to this team? And I feel like this could be one of those games.
What about the Steelers against the Raiders?
Steelers against the Raiders. I feel like Aiden O'Connell is very capable too. Like I think he's not going to throw it deep, but I think that because he has NFL experience. So it's he can dice up a defense if he had to.
But can they stop TJ Watt?
Can they stop TJ? No, they can't stop TJ Watt.
That's, so
they can't stop TJ Watt.
And with Devontae Adams still out, just Trey Tucker and Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, but that's one of the things where it's like you can scheme some of those things up though. Like you can get some guys free in the back end. You can get Brock Bowers matched up with any of their safeties, or you can get Brock Bowers matched up with a corner. You can get Trey Tucker loose downfield on a play action pass or something like that. So I think that they're a solid play, of course, but I think that they could be had on the back end. Can you scroll down a little bit, Siege, and see the other defenses? Is the Colts defense of it on there?
You want to play the Colts defense?
I'm playing the Colts defense in fantasy, and I'm playing them because of Will Levis.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I'm playing them because of Will Levis.
All right.
And we have a couple guys that are coming back from injury too on the defensive end. So I think that they'll be able to apply some pressure on the O-line. Their O-line is still not that good. So I'm willing to take that risk. So it's either they're gonna get us some points or it's gonna be zero. But
any offensive players for the Texans you want to play?
Texans pack. I saw Tank Dell. Yeah. He was at a pretty decent price, and I think that he'll get a lot more targets because Nico Collins is out. So Diggs is gonna be the wide receiver one, of course. But I feel like Tank Dell is a guy who needs a little bit more volume. And remember when I was telling you last week, like as long as Nico and Diggs are in, Tank Dell has been relegated to the third wide receiver. But now as the wide receiver too, I think Tank has a prime opportunity to even score a touchdown, catch a long pass, but he's going to be more involved.
Yeah, and plus Stroud has a better chemistry with him than with Diggs.
Exactly.
So there's more.
And most likely, Diggs is going to have Christian Gonzalez on him anyway.
Yeah, and Gonzalez has been shutting people down.
Yeah,
he's been pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
CJ Stroud is not an outdoor cat. He simply hasn't played in many. But the Texans have, dating back to last year, 9.7, 20.6, 12.9, Bengals 20. Yeah, exactly. But the one game against the Bengals where he had 20 points, Tank went six receptions for 14 targets, 56 yards in a TD. So that's what we're banking on. We're banking on Tank having another high volume, long TD game.
And we can always change too if we decide to.
Yeah. But for the price that he was available, he's definitely great value.
Yeah. All right. Where are we at here? So we have both running backs and we have one receiver right now. Tank Dell give us two.
Mm-hmm. Looking pretty good.
And we're still looking at.
Oh, next game.
Oh, Cardinals Packers.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a good game.
Yeah. I think Cardinals back is going to be another barn burner.
Yeah. I think what Jordan Love's probably top 5 quarterback, huh?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. In that offense with those weapons. Oh, what is Jaden Reed's price? You're still stay wide receivers.
6,700, I think I saw.
67?
Oh, 7,700.
Did you just pass it?
Yeah.
Jaden Reed. Yeah, right there.
I like that play.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to add Jaden Reed instead of Tank Dell because of the upside? Okay, so then take off Tank Dell? Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Gotcha.
And what about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do you think McKinley would be on him?
Well, no. Well, McKinney is the safety, so he'll probably have Jair Alexander will probably be on Marv. And I don't trust Marv to win a matchup against a corner of that caliber.
What about Trey McBride? For the Cardinals.
Trey McBride against the Packers. I mean, that's a solid play. Yeah, that's a solid play. And Trey has yet to score a touchdown. So I think that, it's possible he scores one this week, especially in a game like this.
See what his price is. Do we pass him?
Trey McBride right there, 6,500.
That's actually a good price.
Yeah, that's a really good price.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. Because last week, Parkinson had 7 catches for 62 yards. And McBride is a way much bigger upgrade than Parkinson from the Rams.
Absolutely.
And actually, if Parkinson could have broken some tackles, you'd have had more yards. So I like that play.
Oh, yeah. He had 7 for 52 on
11 targets or 13.
Oof, 13 targets. Yeah. Good Lord. So, yeah, Trey McBride could be poised for a really good day.
All right. What do we got next? So we still need receiver and flex. All right. Chargers Broncos. It's going to be I think it's going to be a defensive game.
Of course.
I think Gus Edwards is hurt and banged up, huh?
What about J.K. Dobbins? What's his status?
Oh, he's good to go from what I know.
Yeah, but because it's such a low total, 35.5, and it's supposed to be a defensive game, I don't know that I want anyone from this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably safe, to just steer clear.
I agree. I think Broncos win.
Oh yeah, I think Broncos win too. Yeah. They're home dogs.
Yeah.
They're home dogs by like 3.5.
And they're playing good. They're hitting on all cylinders. You know what's funny is there was a Troy Franklin signing last week.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow, where'd he come from, man?
And he could have had
a doghouse.
Right? And he could have had a much bigger day. He dropped a touchdown in the end zone.
It would have been a good catch. It wasn't like a perfect throw, but
it was.
Those are catches he caught in college, though.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We can move on to the next game.
Yeah. Steelers Raiders.
Ugh, another game that I'm not touching. I'm not touching anybody.
No.
I don't want any parts at all.
It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be.
Yeah. The only person the only 2 options out of this game that I like is Brock Bowers now because Aiden O'Connell is in, so he's probably going to get peppered with targets, and Pat Freiermuth. So the 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 players that interest me at all in this game.
Now, Freiermuth came out questionable. I saw something pop up about him being questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trey Tucker might be a sneaky play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or breaking off a long one.
Yeah, but the only thing is though, it's that Aiden O'Connell's arm is not that good. Like he's not He's not great in the deep ball department. That's part of the reason why Minshew was starting over him.
If
So
he
I
could
think
throw,
that
if he could throw, he could throw a ball 30 yards in the air, catch him on the run. Trey Tucker's gone.
well, that's true, yeah, because Trey
He's
Tucker has that
gone.
blazing speed.
He's fast. Dude is fast. Oh yeah, I don't like anybody in this team on this game.
This game's got stinker written all over it.
Oof. Falcons, Panthers.
Oh yeah.
What about Darnell Mooney?
Darnell Mooney is exactly who I was thinking of in this game as
go.
far as the third receiver. And our featured quarterback of the week is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Chains.
I love that dude, man. He plays the game the way the game's supposed to be played.
Yes.
The team is endeared by him. Hearing I forgot who they were talking to. I forgot who they're talking to, but they said that he hangs out with the defensive players.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the guy who you invite to every single party that you have. Kirk Cousins is the guy that you take everywhere.
And plus, he'd be the designated driver because he doesn't drink.
Exactly. So here's one of my favorite stats about Kirk Cousins, right? So aside from last year, up until last year, because last year he got hurt in Minnesota, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 7 seasons throwing for more than 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
In the middle of those 7 seasons, he had 1 season where he threw for 3,603 yards. So Kirk slings it.
All right, and we got a question. Thank you, Quincy, for joining. I ask please like and subscribe, hit the notifications so you can get notified when we do our start and sit reaction show. And then Tuesday night we'll be starting our waiver show. Start 2, Bigsby, Gibson, or Ramos. I'm going Bigsby and Gibson. That's who I would play.
Oh yeah, Bigsby and Gibson.
Yeah, especially because Ramondre Stevenson's out. So Gibson's he'll be RB1, and plus he catches. So I did those two. I like Moss, but it's such a running back by committee now between him and Chase Brown that you're getting touches, but you're not guaranteed all the touches
exactly.
But like the other two. So
in worst case scenario, if the Patriots fall behind, Gibson is going to get every single pass catching opportunity.
Big time. Yeah, big time. All right, so what's next?
Next game.
So where are we at? We need a receiver and a flex. Oof. Cowboys.
Did you put in Mooney for us?
Me and you were talking about this earlier. This game.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna
fireworks.
Yep, especially with Kendrickson out, the middle linebacker, and then his backup is out too. So they're going to be playing a third string inside linebacker. Come on now.
So what do we have left? Just the flex?
We have flex. Yeah. And how much funds do we have left?
We should have like 5,000 and some change. I think we might have to swap something out. Oh yeah, don't forget the Monday night watch party from 7:30 to 9.
Yep. Thank you. All right, so
what are we looking at here, Siege? What's our remaining balance? 6,200.
Would you go Gibbs or Montgomery? Or Jameson Williams?
Or Jameson Williams, yeah. I mean, I would like to take one of the running backs because the running backs are more likely to score a touchdown than the wide receivers.
And they're going to eat, man. They're going to go back for thirds, man. You're going to eat good.
Definitely.
They're going to eat good.
Definitely. No Micah, no Kendricks. It's just
no
this.
Parsons, no Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah,
They're no the
but
rookie Kinlaw.
yeah, but the one thing
So
that I'm worried about though is that we might not have enough money for any of those guys. We might not have enough money for any of the running backs because they might be a little too expensive.
well, I think Montgomery probably would be better value than Gibbs.
I mean, I think that they both could be maybe like, one could be at like 7,200 and then the other one could be at like 7,000. I think they're pretty close. Check the running backs, the Lions in the Cowboys game.
God wins. Who do you think? Who you say Montgomery? Huh? He's
You,
a Lions
you,
fan.
you,
He's a
you
diehard
selected
Lions
one.
fan.
You selected one game, Siege.
Also,
So it's gonna give you the lineups just for that game. Yeah. There you go. So scroll down. Yeah, the running backs. Yeah, see? David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are right next to each other.
good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're in a high-powered offense and they perform every week.
Right.
So it's tough. It's tough to get them at value. But
Okay,
Giants at Bengals.
Oh. Giants at Bengals.
Yeah.
Higgins? Higgins or Chase? I think he put Chase up earlier $9,200.
Yeah, yeah.
Higgins
Chase is wide
up.
receiver 1.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's definitely not happening. I think Darius Slayton is a good play. Him
Right.
or Wan'Dale Robinson, they're good plays. Yeah.
We're giving Sig a headache saying that.
Wan'Dale Robinson?
Yeah, any Giants player. What's let's just for shits and giggles, let's see Higgins and Chase's value.
Oof. It's got to be like 9,200 and maybe like 8,200
for.
And Higgins got to be like 8,200 or something like that. Oh, he's lower than that? 76. Not bad.
So if we put him in, if we're over, I guess that's why we were talking about last week that you're chasing that's when you start screwing up a little bit because you start chasing the back end.
Exactly.
We're at 6,200. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's
because I feel like because we've front loaded our roster for it to be so top heavy. So then that way that whatever remaining balance that we have, it's going to have to be a dart throw.
What about if we look back in the running backs, if we go a secondary running back, maybe go Gibbs there. I think Gibbs that might open up enough for us to get a Higgins.
If we go Gibbs instead of who?
Play Higgins. Oh, yeah. So play Gibbs at running back or Montgomery, and then play Higgins. Higgins or what's Devontae Smith?
Let's stack Kirko, Darnell, get in Chaser, Higgins, remove Scary Terry.
Okay.
I mean, actually, because Marlon Humphreys is banged up, so I think Terry McLaurin is a much better play this week.
And he's wide receiver 1.
Exactly.
He's not sharing nothing really, and they're connecting on those damn deep balls too.
And you also have to think because we're not just looking at names here, or we're not just looking at who's wide receiver 1. We're also looking at their value. We're looking at their price. We're looking at like for example, Terry McLaurin is 6,800. Jamar Chase is 9,500. So like that's not really and Terry McLaurin could easily post a similar stat line to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So Terry McLaurin is the better value here.
So what was Gibbs's price? Gibbs and Montgomery, I think 82 and 84 or something like that.
I think they were priced out. Yeah, we were priced out of them.
But if we remove Barkley.
You want to remove Barkley and play one of the Lions? Oh yeah, that could save us a little bit of money so we can upgrade. Yeah. So take off Barkley, take off Saquon. Go to the running backs and look at Gibbs or David Montgomery. They're right on top of each other. Yeah,
7,800.
and they
So
score.
that's a better value.
Yeah, and they score the same amount of points too.
Yep. And
So
because
it's split pretty
the only
evenly.
difference is Jameer gets more of the passes, but they get equal goal line.
Right. So but there's also a I was gonna say there's also a possibility that they're milking the game late, and David Montgomery just gets all the touches. But I'd go with Gibbs because of, like you said, he gets majority of the passing down work, and he's so explosive, so he won't need as many touches to get as many points.
All right, so let's go Gibbs, and then we have a question from OK. Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications. We'll be back tomorrow night with a start and sit, and then a reaction show on Sunday, a live a watch party on Spaces on the X, and then a waiver show on Tuesday. So McBride or Ferguson? Ferguson is they're both wide receiver too, pretty much on their teams.
Yep.
I like Ferguson.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
less competition for Ferguson.
Yeah, so I would go Ferguson. Sheik is not agreeing with us, but it's not about. That's why you're in the background, bro. All right.
Ferguson gets all the garbage time work too.
Yeah.
Thoughts on
Chubby 740? Huh?
Chubby 74K on FanDuel?
Nick Chubb?
Right. Because if that's Nick Chubb, please do not play Nick Chubb.
No, please.
In fantasy and DFS, please don't.
As Sieg would say, that's fool's gold right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, don't play any Browns right now.
Yeah,
unless they make a switch at quarterback.
Right. Yep. So
maybe they're talking about Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, Chuba Hubbard. Oh yeah, Chuba Hubbard is actually a very good play. Chuba is playing the Falcons, a divisional game. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So how much do we have left over, Siege, to work with? Okay, 7,600. We can get a much better flex player.
Okay. And what was about Devontae Smith or AJ Brown?
Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. Those will be two nice players to look into. They play the Browns. Devontae Smith will probably see a lot of what's this guy's name? Oh man, Denzel Ward.
Oh, so T. Higgins is 7,600.
Devontae Smith is 7,300. So we can max out and get T. Higgins at 7,600, or we could be $300 short and get Devontae Smith.
I like Devontae Smith. Do you?
Yeah, I like Devontae Smith too. Yeah.
Okay. I think we did. I think we got a nice lineup here.
Yeah.
A nice lineup. So what? See, my wide receivers: Lamb, Debo, Tank Dell, Mooney, Juju, and Cup on IR. Gotta drop one. Who are you dropping?
My first question is, why are you dropping anyone?
Well, if you're going to drop somebody, drop Juju.
Yeah, out of all of them, what's up, who's?
Yeah, I would drop Juju.
Yeah, I mean, if those are your other options, then Juju is the weakest link.
Yeah, because Cup's probably coming off.
He'll
be playing next week. That they're leaning towards the week 7. That's what McVay has said.
Right.
Yeah, I would drop Juju. Don't drop Moody. Oh no, yeah, don't drop him.
Yeah, no, don't drop Mooney. Yeah, you can't drop Lamb, Debo, or Tank. Mooney is locked in as the wide receiver 2 in Atlanta, and if Kirk is gonna throw for 4,000 yards again, then Mooney is likely to get 1,000 yards out of that, if not close to it.
And Juju might not get the same. He might not put the same numbers he did last week.
Yeah, no, not consistently. No, yeah.
And he'll get some, but he's not gonna get it like that. See, Cup is on the IR, and I have 5 wide receivers.
And KC definitely wants to be a running team now. They want to lean on their defense,
Yeah.
have their defense control the games, and then they're going to run the ball, get some short passes and things like that.
See,
So
Cup
do
is
we have
on
any
the
more
IR and
games?
have 5 wide receivers. But Cup should be playing. Cup
He's going to be playing
good to go next week.
So what you should do when Cup comes back is to try and move a wide receiver or two for another position that you're lacking. Maybe a tight end, maybe a RB2, or maybe some depth for your running backs on your bench. But if you have too many wide receivers, the wise move is to try and trade one. And trade one or two to get a different piece.
Yep, big time. Even if you could do a 2-for-1 and upgrade like a running back or something, or tight end.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some people who probably have multiple quarterbacks. You could even package 2 wide receivers for a quarterback and like an RB3 or something like that.
Yeah. Anything else? No more questions.
Yeah.
So we're good with our lineup.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, Kirk, Bucky, Trey McBride, Devontae. Yeah.
Since you're a Colts fan, what are they smart what they're doing with Pittman, or do you think they should sit him?
Oh man, I have no clue. I don't even know what this is, because I heard that Michael Pittman had this back injury coming into the season. So I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, because that explains why he's been a little sluggish coming out the gate. Like if he's dealing with a nagging injury, of course, he's not going to play the same. So I'm like, okay, like that makes sense. Then we get a report saying that there's a possibility he could end up on IR. So I'm like, okay, so then maybe the back is worse than we thought that it was. And then he's probably going to end up going on IR for a couple of weeks. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. And then he's at practice. Then I'm like, what does that even mean? And then he's like, he feels great, but he's questionable. They don't know if he's going to be able to play or not. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Shane is playing games with the Titans right now, and he's trying to get them to prepare for players that are not going to play. So like, I have no clue what's going on with that.
All right. So Quincy's running backs is Kyron, Bigsby, and Gibson. Yeah. If you could upgrade and do a 2-for-1 and upgrade a running back, that's what I would do.
Yeah, because you have 5 wide receivers. Like the one thing that you don't want to do is to have a surplus at one position, and then now you got to figure out who to drop. Like in this situation. Yeah.
See, I always will try to do a 2-for-1 before I drop somebody, especially somebody that's good, because that means somebody in your league is going to pick up that player that come back and haunt your ass.
Exactly.
So if you get upgrade by doing a 2-for-1, then do it. There's generally people in different, in your league that is not afraid to trade.
Right.
I'm one of those guys.
It's always better to lose a player through trade, even if you end up not winning the trade, but at least you made the attempt at the upgrade rather than just flat out dropping a player. Like you said, somebody else picked them up and then they end up beating you with that player later on.
Yeah, and he says he needs a running back. So that's the route I would go personally. Personally.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good? Are we done now?
I think, or do we have more games to go through?
No, I think we're all done with games.
Yeah, because there are a few teams that are on bye.
So what games do you think? Oh, bonus Sunday Night Football: Jungle versus the New York Giants.
Well, I think we talked about this game already, but I think this game has the probability of being a sneaky good game. One of the things that I've noticed, and one of the themes that I've noticed in the NFL these past few years, is that when you have a quarterback who is capable, I'm not in any way saying that anybody is elite or great or amazing, but when you have a quarterback who is capable, you have decent weapons, and you have a really good play caller, it actually makes their offense harder to defend when their wide receiver one is not in the game.
Yep, and actually Danny Dimes is sneaky, and so is Tyron Tracy. Tyron Tracy
Absolutely.
does sneaky good play too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he
Absolutely.
put up 139 yards last week, and if he puts up those kind of yards again this week, which
Mm-hmm.
he very well could, because it's the Bengals defense is, I think, ranked number 32.
Yeah. They're the
There's
worst
something
scoring
like
defense in the
that.
league.
Yeah,
Worst
I mean
scoring defense in the
they're in
league.
the bottom 5
Mm-hmm.
in defense. So if Tyron Tracy puts up those numbers again, then it's going to be interesting what's going to happen with Singletary, because
Mm-hmm.
that backfield might go to 55-45. Because
Something like that.
Because
Yeah.
Tracy is more explosive and he's a better pass catcher too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's a converted wide receiver.
Yeah, from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And Memphis puts out some speedy
Mm-hmm.
wide receivers and stuff.
They do. Yeah. They Memphis does produce some very good backs, wide receiving backs.
So what game do you think is going to be the most high scoring game? Do you think this game right here, or do you think the Dallas Detroit game?
No, Washington Ravens.
Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think
Washington Ravens.
Do you think there might be a letdown though? It might be one. Might be like 17-14.
I doubt it.
Crap like
I
that.
doubt it.
No, you doubt that?
I doubt that, because honestly, so the way that I look at it is going to be one of two things that are going to happen. It's going to be one, either the Ravens are going to boat race Washington, which is very likely to happen because the Ravens are one of the best regular season teams like ever. Like in the regular season, they outscore their opponents by like a crazy margin. So that's something that's possible to happen. Or two, these two teams are just going blow for blow, but I don't think that it'll be in a situation where it's like 10-17 or like 17-14. Like I don't think it'll be that low scoring. I think these two OCs are too good. I think that the two quarterbacks are too good. I think that the offensive weapons on both sides of these teams, both teams in this game are too good. So I think that there'll be plenty of touchdowns scored.
What do you think? Do you think we're overlooking Wicks or Romeo Doubs?
Well, Romeo Doubs isn't happy with the team right now.
Yeah. Wicks, because Watson's back now too, and Wicks didn't do that much. I know the Rams did a better job last week for the most part in the secondary.
Mm-hmm. And Wicks had a lot of drop passes too.
A lot of drop passes. So that when you do that, quarterbacks tend to throw to you less.
Yeah.
And Watson catches the balls, and Watson is a red zone threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He can go 4 catches for 32 yards, but 3 touchdowns.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
See, Cooper or Tolbert already have CD and Ferg.
Cooper as in Amari Cooper?
I'm not touching anything.
Yeah.
Tolbert has Dak Prescott's trust in him.
Mm-hmm.
Tolbert's faster.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks to Tolbert now.
Yeah, but if you already have CD and Ferg, you don't want to also play Tolbert. You're kind of like shrinking your fantasy points when you have more than 2 fantasy players and not all of them are guaranteed to score a touchdown.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just not. Cooper can go.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not touching Cooper.
Yeah. There's so much disconnect between Watson and everybody else on that team right now that I just can't. Mm-hmm. I can't. So I would go Tolbert. Yeah,
definitely would go Tolbert. Yeah, until there's a quarterback change, even if Cooper were to have like a blow up week, I still wouldn't trust it long term because the chemistry, like you said, it's not there.
Yeah. Unless Jameson Winston's starting, then I'll start playing Cooper.
Right.
Because even as a second string quarterback, when he's out there giving the hyping up the team as second string quarterback, mm-hmm. There's something right there. The team is connected with him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and we know from his days at Tampa, he's gonna give Cooper chances.
Oh yeah. And he can sling it, and he sees mm-hmm. better now. So what kind of running back can I go for if I'm trading Tank Dell and Juju for a running back? Appreciate you, fellas. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you more. You could with that kind of, you can go a high end high end running back 2 or high end or low end running back 1, I think.
Yeah. Like
Easily.
you could trade them for a guy like, I mean, I think that you can trade both of those guys for a guy like Josh Jacobs right now because he has pretty decent upside for the rest of the season, but he hasn't really produced as much as he should have been these past few weeks, mostly because Jordan Love was out. So maybe the Josh Jacobs owner is probably maybe lacking at wide receiver, and they'd be willing to trade you Josh Jacobs for 2 players.
What about somebody like Joe Mixon?
Joe Mixon too is another one. He's a great example.
Yeah, so try those and then just work your way back. I mean, hopefully the person whoever you trade with likes to counter, and just make sure if you do counter, make sure you get what you want, and it's going to help your team out. What's up, Max? Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe, please.
Yes, sir.
Please join us tomorrow night. We'll be doing our start and sits with JC, Best Ball Jonesy, Fantasy Dads, and myself. And then Sunday reaction show with me and JC. And Tuesday, our first waivers show with me and Jonesy. So I appreciate everybody coming in and watching the shows. Anything else? That's it then.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's it, man. All right, man. I appreciate you as always, Abjud. I appreciate your insight. Each week I learn a little more and more. And I'm almost getting a little bit more comfortable actually maybe going and do this myself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's fun.
I know it's fun, but, just bet what you can bet.
Of course.
And if you're betting, set yourself a budget. Leave your budget there. And keep your winnings separate, man. That way you're not diving into your winnings and stuff.
Yeah. And try and stay away from chasing bets.
Yeah. Big time, man. Big time. I appreciate it.
I got my official Patrick Pucci fantasy shirt today. It came in the mail yesterday. I was so excited. I love the fit. I love the style. Love the shirt. I am definitely going to be rocking this.
Look at that fancy. Yeah, that's a goat. The goat is everything right there. Our mascot, our man, the goat. All right, man. Appreciate everybody coming in. You all have a nice evening. Be safe if you're out there. And just be the difference and make a difference in your own life and somebody else's life, man.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Absolutely. Spread love, spread peace. Have a good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Boom.
And we're still live. Oh. And we're back for more. We're back for seconds like Jameer Gibbs.